Hey Joey, some people, I'm not familiar with circumstances for your departure from WWE, but a few people have told me they thought that you tried to get fired. Is that true or false?
No, I was not. I was not trying to get terminated. Yeah.
No beating around the bush on that question. Just
no,
straight
no.
right to
No. I mean, that's the answer. I just told you that's not the case. But you know what? I had 10 years there. I made great friends. I made great money. I have no grudge whatsoever. I have lots of friends who still work in the office. I'm friends with a lot of the talent, and I couldn't be happier for all their success.
You know what? 10 years is a long, long run in WWE for anyone.
Yeah, and I think, it was really because I was more than just an announcer. I think that I was lucky enough that they saw value in me and my business background. And, of course, moving into digital media just came out to be very fortuitous because
Right.
now I've gone ahead and I'm making a full-time living selling digital media again.
Nice. Cool.
And your work with Evolve, I know everybody just loves Evolve. What do you think about what's going on there? They are always thriving.
Well, if you look at Evolve, I mean, basically, they got a lot of exposure and their parent company, WWN Live, because of the Cruiserweight Classic. And a lot of the Evolve roster was in the Cruiserweight Classic. In fact, Cedric Alexander was signed. TJ Perkins was signed and became the Cruiserweight champion. Tony Nese and Drew Gulak are constantly on Raw now, and I believe it was just announced today they're going to be the kickoff match for Hell in a Cell this Sunday. So
nice.
Evolve has really become the stepping stone to WWE, which is great, and I get to call really athletic matches, and I get to be the color commentator, which people don't realize is no work.
You're
Play-by-play announcers
You're usually
do all the work.
You're usually the color and the straight guy all in one.
Yeah, for ECW. But when you're the play-by-play guy, you have to do all the prep, have all the notes, know all the history.
Right.
As the color guy, as long as you can analyze basic holds, and you really should at this day and age know that an armbar is hyperextending the elbow. I mean, if you've taken anatomy in high school, you should be able to break down holds, or if you've watched some MMA. But then I also get to be funny, which
Yeah.
is awesome. I don't have to be the serious guy anymore. So I'm having a blast doing color commentary for Lenny Leonard, who's the play-by-play guy for WWN. He's awesome. He's
very good.
major league talent.
Yeah,
he's really
excellent.
good.
I've done color commentary with him before. I think for
We're in
Chikara.
CZW? Or?
No, it in Chikara or no?
I've heard you did Chikara, and because they have a no potty mouth policy, like you can't even say the words hell or damn, so I got reprimanded.
Oh, yeah.
I heard they had to heavily go back and edit your commentary.
Wow, no wonder they didn't have me on again. I thought I did a good job, Joey. Damn
No,
it.
you did do a good job, but I got reprimanded. Like, I said he's doing a hell of a job, trying to get this win, and you can't say hell, you can't say damn.
Right.
Billy Gunn said suck it.
I was just gonna say.
And he thought he was being funny, and he
Yeah.
was shocked to see that he was met with dead silence and a huge.
Well, did you see the look on my face?
You warned him.
Yes.
You told him, don't do it. This is the only place in the world they don't want to hear it. I guess he thought you were kidding.
He doubled
and
down.
He was met with stunned silence.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, but actually, I thought we recovered well from that. Believe it or not. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. But it's funny because Evolve is so family friendly, and I really, when I was 25, calling ECW blood and guts and women flashing and foul
Sure.
language was cool. Now that I'm 45 and I have a 13-year-old and I've been married almost 20 years and I volunteer with the Knights of Columbus, I look back at that and I'm like, well, that's horrible.
Yeah,
So, a company like Chikara where the fans actually chant holy poop instead
Yeah.
of holy S, I think it's great.
But I do think it's kind of funny that they're completely family friendly to the extreme on that when it comes to that. Yet they're not afraid to have a girl and a guy in there going at it. Man on woman violence.
and it's really what I've learned is because I'm not a huge fan of intergender wrestling.
Me neither.
Because if it's done badly, it exposes the business. If it's done well, where the woman, unless she's huge, is clearly the underdog.
Sure.
And not so much striking, but going for submissions and trying to win with a quick one and everything else, it comes off really well. But I've seen some matches where They're put together so the woman is striking as much as the man, and I think it just. I mean, look, unless you're Ronda Rousey, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that women can't beat up men. I've met quite a few women who can stretch me. Eve Torres, I think, has her black belt now in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. But for the most part, to see a 5-foot-tall woman trading punches with a 6-foot-tall man, I'm sitting there watching and thinking, who allowed this? And why didn't the two wrestlers putting together the match not know that this was going to look awful? But when it's done right, it's really good.
Yeah, it is. Joey, one last thing. When is this platform looking to be up and running as far as the Flow Wrestling?
Oh, this month. I believe the first event is November 5th. I believe it's a women's match. And I know that the Saturday, November 12th show, that's Evolve in New York City that I'm going to be on, will be on flowslam.tv. The Sunday, November 13th show, which is in Joppa, Maryland, will also be streaming on flowslam.tv. So this starts November, which is next week.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, go ahead, Christy. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, that's awesome. I can't wait.
I was going to say, now that you're working with Evolve, what was it like to be back with Gabe Sapolsky, another former ECW backstage person?
Oh, I mean, Gabe and I go back 20-something years, and it's great. And I call him boss, and he hates it. Because, I was announcing, and he started with the Sabu fan club and then selling programs and then just being Paul's assistant and learning everything from the ground up. So he told me he doesn't like when I call him boss, so I just do it to kind of get on his nerves now. I just think it's funny. Cool. Okay, boss, whatever you want, boss. He's like, would you please stop?
He doesn't act like he's a good boss, but he doesn't act like a typical boss.
No, not at all.
Very cool.
I mean, in a lot of ways, it's like Paul Heyman. You always feel like you're working with him, not for him. So yeah, I mean, pretty much all the indie promoters for the most part are like that. Mike Quackenbush from Chikara, he's the boss.
He is, man.
He doesn't drop the hammer, but he is so organized about every detail. I mean, just the branding, the colors, the flow of the show, the timing. Don't go over your time on a Chikara show because you won't be back.
Yeah, Mike Quackenbush's vision is very clear on, and it's amazing. I mean, the guy's, as far as I know, the guy is drug-free and alcohol-free. But
Absolutely.
You wouldn't know it with some of the shit he comes up with, Joey.
Yeah,
it's some good stuff.
For example, I'm calling on Saturday, November 5th. I'm calling a match between Rock Lobster, which is a very good wrestler wearing a lobster outfit, and the Hermit Crab, who is he's basically a tribute to Grand Naniwa, except he actually comes out with a foam hermit crab shell on his back and takes it off. So I mean, once the bell rings, it's a great wrestling match. But if I wasn't drug-free, I would think I was tripping.
Especially when they go into the slow motion high spots.
I haven't seen that yet. But, what's great is that his company, and I didn't realize it until he explained it, especially this season, because he breaks down his product into seasons.
Yes.
This season is a love letter to Marvel. In fact, I've even got Mike an interview. He's going to be talking to Marvel.com. Because the villains or the heels have all been hexed, so they're called the Hexed Men. And the group of baby faces they're battling, I didn't realize it until I really looked at their outfits and what they're wearing. They're basically the Avengers. So I didn't get it until Mike pointed it out. So, I think that's why it's so kid-friendly. He also gives free tickets to kids who are 12 and under. Like, if your parent buys a ticket and you're 12 or younger, you get a free seat. I mean, he is so into families because he's a dad himself, I guess.
Yeah. Very cool.